Hey everyone, it's Steph, and today I'm here to talk about specialty wigs. So in previous videos, I covered talking about the basics of wigs, talking about general hard front wigs, I think they are called, as well as lace front wigs, but there is so much more to wigs today, especially in cosplay due to supply and demand. So thankfully there are many more resources for complicated hairstyles that exist out there, which is what this video is about, those fancy specialty wigs. When I say specific, it more so means characters that have ponytail or pigtail styled hair that aren't normally realistically easily achieved with the other types of wigs. So ponytail wigs and pigtail wigs are very similar, and in this day and age there are ponytail and pigtail wigs that exist that are designed to look more realistic, such as these wigs right here, and there are the older style wigs that predated these that look less realistic but were simpler to manufacture, and they look like this. These wigs feature an accessory called a clip-on hair extension, or just clip-ons. So the way that these wigs work is that you would wear what looks like a traditional wig, but then you would clip on wefts that mimic looking like a pigtail or a ponytail. Whereas of course these wigs that look like they are mimicking other hairlines are specifically wefted in order to mimic the realistic appearance of that hairstyle. Pros for the clip-on wigs would be that they are very easy to style. They don't really require too much attention. Just like traditional hard front wigs, you would mostly need to style the bangs and then you just clip on the ponytails, trim that if you need to, but other than that you don't really need to do anything too extra to them. The cons for that though are that it's not quite as realistic of course as the more realistic wigs, and you're very limited by how you can actually style the wig. On the flip side, for the wigs that are meant to mimic real hair, of course an unsurprising pro of those wigs are that they allow you more freedom to style the wig to be more accurate to the character, and they look significantly more realistic because they're wefted in that particular style. The cons that I would say for these are that they can be incredibly tricky to style. They're definitely not something that I would say is very beginner friendly, so that's just something to keep in mind as well. It can be really tough hiding your natural hair underneath these wigs as well, depending on how you style it. They can be somewhat frustrating if you're not as familiar with these wigs. Of course, neither style is better than the other. All of it, of course, just depends on the type of look that you're going for the type of character that you want to cosplay. So just keep those things in mind. A third sort of combination of those two involves a technique called stubbing, which is something that I would categorize as a more advanced wig styling technique. I would consider this to be sort of the pinnacle of wig styling for these type of specialty ponytail pigtail wigs. The way that this technique works is that you would style the wig into a ponytail or a pigtail depending on what you're doing, and then tie it off, then cut off that ponytail, apply a bunch of glue to keep it set, and then you would make another ponytail, like your own sort of clip-on, to go on top of that. And this technique is really good because it allows you to have the most amount of freedom when it comes to styling, and it allows you to have the realistic look to the wig as well, and you get extra volume that you wouldn't ordinarily have with a realistic wig, because with a realistic wig you're limited by the wefts that are on the head, but when you use the technique stubbing you're allowed to add as much as you want because the wig is now in two pieces like a clip-on wig, but you have the freedom to customize each. Depending on the style, ponytail wigs in general tend to be heavier than any other wig counterpart just because of the sheer volume of wigs, but if you're using a technique like stubbing, chances are that wig will generally overall be significantly heavier than any other wig. That is all I have when it comes to specialty wigs. There are slowly more varieties of other specialty wigs that are coming out. I know that Arda, for example, has an undercut wig, which is very interesting. I haven't seen it around too often, but when I have more experience with it, I could make another video covering it. It's definitely very interesting to see more wig styles becoming staple offers within cosplay wig retailers, especially compared to how cosplay used to be a long time ago, but we're not going to get into that. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, things to add about specialty wigs, let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.